Imagine a quiet evening, where a struggling single father is just trying to get through another day of bills, work, and raising his little boy alone when fate suddenly puts someone else in his path. A lost little girl, standing alone in the pouring rain, clutching a teddy bear, with eyes full of fear. He doesn't know who she is or where she came from, but helping her will lead him into a story so unbelievable, you'll want to stay until the very end, because what happens when her billionaire mother shows up will leave you speechless. It all began on a cold, rainy night. Daniel, a single dad in his early 30s, worked 2 jobs just to make ends meet. After losing his wife years ago, his world had been reduced to raising his 7-year-old son, Liam, and surviving day by day. That night, after finishing his late shift at the garage, Daniel was driving home when he noticed a small figure at the side of the road. His headlights illuminated the girl, maybe 6 or 7, her clothes damp, her hair tangled, and tears streaming down her face. He pulled over immediately, rushing out into the rain. "Hey, sweetheart, are you okay?" he asked gently. The little girl only hugged her teddy bear tighter and whispered, "I can't find my mommy." Something in her fragile voice tore at Daniel's heart. He knew what it felt like to be lost, not just on the road, but in life. Without thinking twice, he wrapped his jacket around her and brought her to his truck. At home, Liam's eyes widened in surprise at the sight of the girl, but his innocent smile quickly softened the tension. "Don't worry," Liam told her, handing her one of his blankets. "You're safe here." And for the first time that night, the little girl smiled faintly. She said her name was Emma, but beyond that, she gave little away. Daniel tried calling the police, but strangely, there had been no missing child report matching her description. Confused and worried, he decided to keep her safe until he could figure it out. Days turned into weeks, and Emma slowly became part of their little family. She laughed with Liam, helped set the table, and even hugged Daniel before bed. For the first time in years, Daniel's house was filled with a warmth he thought he'd lost forever. But deep down, he knew this couldn't last. Someone out there must be missing her. Someone must be searching. And one evening, that someone arrived, though not in the way Daniel could have ever imagined. A sleek black car pulled up outside his worn-down house, the kind of car that didn't belong in his neighborhood. Out stepped a woman dressed elegantly, with sharp eyes that softened the moment they landed on Emma. "Emma," she cried, rushing forward to scoop her into her arms. Emma clung to her, both relief and confusion mixing in her tiny face. Daniel stood frozen, unsure of what was happening. The woman turned to him, her voice trembling. "You don't understand what you've done for me. You've been keeping my daughter safe. And now, I owe you the truth." Her name was Victoria Hale, one of the most powerful billionaires in the city. But behind her polished image was a truth she had hidden from the world. Emma was her daughter, born out of a painful past she had kept secret. She explained that enemies of her empire had tried to use Emma against her, and in a desperate attempt to keep her safe, Emma had slipped away, lost in the chaos. Daniel could barely believe what he was hearing. Here he was, a man who counted coins to buy groceries, standing across from a woman who had more money than he could imagine. But what struck him most wasn't her wealth, it was her tears. She wasn't just a billionaire. She was a mother, broken and desperate, just like him. Victoria thanked him, but then she hesitated, glancing at the humble little house, at Liam's shy smile, at the bond Emma had clearly built here. And then came the shocking truth. "Emma," she told me, "this is the first time she's felt like she had a real family. I can give her the world, but I can't give her what you and your son gave her. I don't want to take her away from that. I want you to stay in her life." Daniel's breath caught in his throat. A billionaire offering him not money, not gifts, but the chance to be part of something bigger, to help raise this little girl who had already stolen his heart. It wasn't about riches or status. It was about family. The weeks that followed weren't easy. Victoria struggled to balance her empire with motherhood, while Daniel adjusted to a life suddenly intertwined with a world of wealth and power. But what remained constant was Emma's laughter, Liam's joy, and the growing connection between two very different worlds brought together by love, not circumstance. And in the end, Daniel realized something profound. It didn't matter how much money one had, or how little. Family wasn't built on wealth, it was built on love, sacrifice, and the courage to open your heart when fate placed someone unexpected in your path. So, if you're still watching, remember this: sometimes the greatest treasure isn't found in the billions, but in the bonds we build when we least expect it. And that rainy night, when a single dad found a lost girl, wasn't the end of his struggles, it was the beginning of a story that changed all of their lives forever.